Alrighty, traders. So, what an amazing and incredible week that we have just had around the markets. Lots of volatility and a lot of things that I want to share with you when it comes down to this market and market updates and structures and what's going on right now with these markets here. Traders, if you do need some help, if you actually are looking for a good trading system, guys, I'm teaching for free on my next webinar. First link in the description, go check that out. And actually, in fact, I'm giving away a free trading course and a webinar, so you can check all those details out. Link in the description. Go grab that. Go get access to that, guys. So here's what I want to share with you in today's video. Something I've been sharing, something I've been noticing when it comes down to these markets is what we want to do is we want to be able to set ourselves up for long-term success. But check this out. This head and shoulder formation is massive. Absolutely. And this has actually been developing now. We're now on what? 26 here, right? On gold. This is now been developing through all this time through. You can see this massive head and shoulder formation. And this thing is about to absolutely just crumble. And we're starting to see this, there's a V top formation and a head and shoulder formation that says gold is likely to go down. Now, here's a big thing for you guys, okay? I really want you to understand this here, okay? Please do not be so dogmatic about these markets. No one knows definitely what's going to come soon. And I'm going to get that to the actual stock market here, but if you think you actually know definitely what's going to come, please get your head out of the bag, right? Get your head out of the, it's not the case. No one knows, okay? So the reason I'm saying that is be flexible, because when it comes to the stock market, it comes to gold. Now, when it comes to gold, there's a massive probability we're overbought, we're oversold, and if you have a look at these weekly charts, there's a massive probability we're going to start to see at least a little bit of retracement, right? Because we know we're due for that retracement. We're due for one of these counter trend pullbacks, whipsaws. We know we're in store for that. Up and a counter trend, up and a counter trend, up and a counter trend, and up, right? We're at least due for a counter trend in the markets. Okay, so be smart about the way you're trading. Now, back to the regular scheduled head and shoulder formation. Is this head and shoulder formation is screaming at people, and it's starting to scream now, and you're starting to notice there's a lot more. Let me actually teach something here, okay? Let me teach you an advanced trading technique to learn how to see who's more in control when it comes to these markets. And it's called the angle of the legs in the markets. Let me explain something to you here, okay? Whenever I'm trying to see what's going on right now, whenever I'm trying to see what's happening here right now, we can actually see that we've had this very big move up, big move up, big move up. So there's two different types of legs in the markets, okay? So let me show you this here. Whenever we're trying to see, the market starts to give us a bit of a waning of if there's been a lot more buyers of dominant of late in that market, say for example, gold, there's a lot more buyers here, then how do we know that the buyers are starting to lose control? How do we know that the buyers are starting to become really, really weak? And this is how we know. Let me show you this here. Whenever we look at the markets, okay, we look at the markets and we see that, let me just bring up this through here, okay? So if I bring up two different types of legs, okay, and I'm just going to draw over the actual legs itself. So we have a buying leg there. See, that's the buying leg there, okay? So I'm trying to show you something here. This is an advanced trading technique you start to utilize with no indicators to start to utilize by looking at the markets to say, okay, are the buyers still more dominant or are they starting to become very weak? Because they're becoming very weak, that means the sellers are becoming more dominant, right? Here, check this out. It's so amazing. Here, see how that's the last buying leg, right? And then there's two different types of legs in the market. There's buying legs and then there's selling legs. There's another buying leg. There's another buying leg. See how that's the overall sort of the angle of the buying legs? See that through there? Now, we also have what? We also have what's called selling legs, right? So there's either two different types of legs here. This here is where the sellers try to sell it off, but the buyers held it up. And then we had a buying leg. This here was the selling leg and so on and so forth. You see that through there. Now, this is where it gets really, really, really cool. You start to see the dynamics, the psychology, the I can't say that word. Stop trying to be smart, John. Now, you start to see the psychology of the markets or the strength of the markets start to shift. And the shifts from, as you can see, we've had what? Strong buyers, weak sellers. Strong buyers, weak sellers, and then we've had strong buyers. Now, check out this. These are buying legs here, right? But if we draw an overall move, do you see how the angle there is slightly less, right? That's an overall move to the upside. And then guess what's happening? Now we're failing already, aren't we? See how that's different? This is different this time, right? This is different. Why is this different? Because last time, guess what we got? Last time, we got the big move up. Big, strong move. Big, strong move. But what's happening here right now? See how the angle there? This is when the market is really, if the market goes up like that, like here, guess what? Strong buy. Strong, 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 strong. But if the market does that, that's strong. But what if the market does something like this? See how the angle, it's not as strong. This is more like rocket ship. This was like, yeah, we're going up, but we're just slightly going up. And then what tends to happen with this here is this is now weak. And what tends to happen is we actually start to roll over. We start to roll over. See that through there? I'm going to show you another example of one of the indices in just a minute, but I'm trying to share with you here. This is an advanced chart reading and trading technique that I use when I'm trying to see and I'm trying to remove the confusion of all these markets. Again, guys, in that webinar and also free course I'm giving you, that link in the description, or go to johnsfreegift.com. I'm going to teach you a lot more about this here, okay? I'm going to teach you a lot more about this overall systems and so on and so forth. But you can see here, this here, when the market starts to do this here, when we start to see in the past, the buyers have been strong. And then the buyers are like, oh man, I am so like, oh, and then we roll over. See that through there? Now, but not only the buying leg. This is where, guys, there's so much power from the charts itself. Okay? When we're looking at the buying legs, if I'm looking at the selling legs in the past, okay, let's do this here. This is the selling leg. This is the selling leg. This is the selling leg. Now, can you see how this selling leg here is so much more powerful on the downside than this one here and this one here, right? Once again, what is this? A selling leg is this. This here is what? Strong, right? We've got strong sellers. Here we go. But what happens if we get that? But what happens if we get something like this? See that through there? You get two arrows, right? See that through there? So what we're getting through here is what? This is more like weak. This here is more like this here. This is weak. And then we tend to get something like that through there. But if we get strong sellers through here, and on the back of this strong selling period, we get this weak buying leg, means we had strong. Oh my goodness, I'm tired. The market has shifted. The market has changed. Everything has changed. So now we get this massive rounding top formation from here, or massive, huge head and shoulder formation, as you can see, right? You can see here we've got this shoulder, head, shoulder formation, big V top formation. This is about to absolutely get crushed right now. So the good news is that for you guys that are trading the markets and not just hoping gold's going to go up, because I don't care where it goes. I just want a good trade. So if this is going to go down, cool. Let's go short. Let's buy put options on the GLD and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, so you get what I'm saying here. If we do break this here, and that's up through there, the neckline of all this is, this where it gets so cool, doesn't it? This is just, check this out. This is where it gets so cool. The neckline is around about to at least down through there. And I would say that at least that's the neckline projection. But we're probably going to overextend. You can see the next major support resistance levels is probably down through here somewhere. So we're probably likely to see from here, we're getting a little bit of a bounce, but the trend is now shifted to the downside once again. Okay, big, massive head and shoulder formation, big V top. Look at this here, massive V top, massive head and shoulder formation. So we are about to see at least a 10% drop on the short term through there. I see an overall 20% drop on gold through here, but this is not me poo-pooing gold, guys. I'm just teaching you how to read the chart so we can make better decisions. and how we read the charts, how we understand the markets, how we understand what's going on in the markets right now, so we can take the confusion out of the markets, right? So we can see that through there. And then this is the hourly chart right now. We can go here from the 4-hour chart. We see the same thing here from the 4-hour chart, and then we can start to go down to the daily charts, and we can see that we are pretty too far away. So this is now lining up for more downside to come. And if we do get the 10% drop to the downside, that's going to bring us back towards this moving average from here. So I expect to see that coming real soon in the markets. Now let me show you another example from here. And this is an example of this. This is an example I was talking about with my coaching clients today. But anyway, let me show you this here. Let me take off the moving average, and let me show you this here. Remember, everything is about we can start to see, and this is a bit more of an advanced technique that you can learn, but I think it's really going to help you out when it comes to your trading if you start to master it. It may take you a bit while to understand it, but it's called strength in moves. How is the move going? How is the move happening? Right? If we have a buying leg, and this is the overall buying leg from there, is that strong or weak? So this see how that's really strong, right? Like a rocket ship up. But if we have a leg like this, see how that's different, right? Remember, this is rocket ship up, rocket ship. This is like we are going up, but see how we're just slowly going up. We're not rocket ship. This is more like, oh my God, and then we tend to do that. Make sense? So we want to see what's going on here. So we have that leg there overall. This is another overall leg to the upside. Same here, there. Another one through here, another one through here. So you see the legs there, and also through there. So they are all the different buying legs. Ooh, what happened here? Hang on. Hang on a minute. Is this one rocket ship, or is this like S for struggling? This here gets an R. This one here is more like, oh my goodness, I'm so tired. See the bias, the psychology of the strength in the moves here. The strength in the moves through here was saying, hang on a minute. Righto, something has changed now. In the past 12 months, we've had strong. Every time we've had a buying leg in this particular market. And this is not Russell, this is not gold, this is how all markets work. And sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes we can start to see the dynamic shifting. And when we start to see the dynamic shifting in the markets, and no, we don't need any indicators at all. We're utilizing the chart itself. The psychology of the market starts to give us, hang on a minute, something is not right here. And as you can see from three strong, let's go back to here, right? And as you can see from here, right? Strong, weak overall. What does that mean? This is, remember I said before, this is strong and this is the overall weak. This is where the market's doing this here, rocket ship. And then the buyers are going up, but they're like, oh my goodness, and then we tend to get some of that, right? Because they're going up, but they're slowly. It's going up weak, and then we tend to get something like that. And this is what actually happened here. And you can see the market psychology started to shift from there. So there we go, guys. There's a bit of an update for you across the actual market. You know what? Actually, let's just do a quick little update across the actual stock market itself. We did get a really good significant bounce off these long-term trend lines. Absolutely amazing, guys. But we really need to see the stock market start to move here. If I'm going to have any chance of getting to my 7,500 target on this market, we really need to see the buyers come back in hard here. If they don't, then there could be something really big and something really serious happening on the downside. But we really need to see this thing overall, especially this level here. And what I'm seeing through here is, even though we're getting a bounce, if we do, and if this does start to form into something different than just what I think is going to happen, which is mean just a nice move back to the upside. If we roll over here, if we go up and we struggle and we start to do something like this, guys, through there, get ready for a face ripper drop to the downside, because the stock market's going to go down, and my 7,500 target on the S&P is probably not going to be hit. So if we start to get something like this over the next few months, my 7,500 target's not going to get hit. I don't really care about that, because that's just the target for me on the 7,500. It's not something that actually I'm trading. It's just a target. So if the market's going to go down, beautiful, because I actually love trading when the market goes to the downside. So Traders, once again, I'm actually giving away a sort of a master trader bundle, right? I'm giving away an actual live training or a webinar that I'm running where I'm going to teach you all the details to my trading system. And then also I'm going to give you access to a free trading course as well too. It's like a master trader package to help you with your trading. First link in the description, guys. Click on that. Go get access to it. Have a great day, guys.